Hi there. First of all, let me say thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to visit this website where we discuss how to take your business and digitally transform it. Now, I come from a traditional background, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. On this site, we look at how to implement digital marketing, digital funnels, digital systems into your business to make them work for your business. And we talk about getting rid of all the noise and the clutter and all of the high-end, high technical terms and bringing it down to basic functionality. Because I am over 3 decades in the sales and marketing arena, and in that 3 decades, one thing has never changed. And that is I am speaking to a human being. I am speaking to a person. And no matter what tools come out, it doesn't matter what tools we use, it doesn't matter what tools come out, it doesn't change, right? It just doesn't change. Customers are always human beings. And sometimes that gets forgotten when it comes to the digital world. So my name is Anthony McCarthy, and for over, as I've said, the past 3 decades, I've been involved in the sales and marketing arena. I come from a traditional business background where you went out and you selected products, you brought people in and we sold them to them. To, for the past decade, being an online business specialist. Now what that means is I help business owners like yourself to maximize the effect of the internet for their business. Not only front office, but sometimes in back office through relationships and connections that I've built out, to actually implement digital into your business so that it works for you. And what do I mean by that? It means that your internet, your website, is your website actually a cost or is it producing you income? And a lot of businesses, it's actually a cost, which is truly remarkable. Also, should you be on social media is one of the other questions I get asked a lot. And the reality is, yes, you should be on social media. Of course you should be on social media because Facebook alone has over 2 billion people on it. So any place where you can access that type of information, especially with the cost of their advertising being so small, the testing that you can do on it and the effectiveness it can have for your business is colossal. But you only want to be on the social media where your customers are. Why be on any other social media if your customers are not there? Sometimes it does work out because you can automate it. So we're going to talk about on this site all the different things that affect a traditional business owner, sometimes even a digital business owner, about actually doing business using the internet, using online, using digital marketing. You hear all of these terms, digital marketing, SEO, all these high-end terms. None of those really matter until it comes down to what you understand about getting your customer to buy from you. And the challenge is that for most business owners, if you come to one of my talks, I normally talk about Fred. So let me give you the example. Fred is a caveman and I build a time machine and you and I go back in time and we visit Fred. And we give Fred a gun and some bullets separately. We say nothing to Fred except you'll do better with these. We'll just give him the gun and the bullets and do better than these. And we'll tell him you'll do better than these. We leave and we'll come back a month later. Now there are 2 options, 2 possibilities that would happen, A and B. So A is that Fred has taken the bullets and realized, oh yeah, these are much stronger than the rocks and they don't break as easy, so I can throw those and hurt something that I'm throwing at much more. And then he looks at the gun and he goes, yes, he turns the gun upside down because it's made of metal, not that he knows what metal is, and he finds out if he hits it, it doesn't break as easily as his club does. So he can now use it much more effectively as a club. So he has now got a better club. So Fred is getting a better result, right? Fred now has the bullets for stones, which are more effective because they're pointy and they hurt more, and he's got the gun as a club because it doesn't break as easily. Or do you expect that we go back and B happens, that Fred is lying in the bushes, the gun loaded, he sees the target, the animal that he wants to kill to bring back to his tribe to feed him for the week, he shoots the animal and brings it back. Which do you think the option is? It's going to be A, right? And unfortunately that is some of the challenge that business owners have, is they don't have the right knowledge to actually understand how to load the gun and fire the gun. It doesn't mean you have to be the best shot, right? Does not mean we have to be the best shots as the business owners. Just understand that if we give a guy 10 bullets in a gun and he comes back without anything or hitting anything and the bullets are gone, you know that he's not a good shot, right? And it's being able to have that level of information to be able to understand how to use this to grow your business. And that is the challenge that most business owners have. And it was a challenge for me as well, because especially today, it's now changing so rapidly. But when you go a small bit up higher over the noise and the chaos, and you go up the hill and look down over the valley, over the noise and the chaos, the noise drops a bit. And then you start realizing that, yes, we can actually go to the top of the hill, and yes, we can understand the structures and the rest of it without having to be a specialist in any area, because let's think about it, that's what we do in business anyway. Most of us don't do our audit returns, we send them to an accountant. If we've got a legal problem, we go to a lawyer, but we do understand what a contract is, we do understand what an audited set of accounts are, we do understand what a profit loss statement, cash flow and balance sheet are. We understand what they are. We may not be able to prepare it, but we understand it. So when it comes to the digital world, you need the same level of knowledge, and that is one of the things that business owners are having a difficulty with, because what they're doing is they're handing that over to somebody that they believe is a specialist. The challenge is that the specialist, like a web designer or somebody like that, doesn't understand your business as well as you do. And you have one major advantage over anybody starting out in your business today, and that is this: you know how to sell, you know what your customer wants to buy, you know how your customer buys, and you know the conversation and dialogue that your customer likes to have. And that's a lot of what we do, is to take what's working offline and bring it online in simple, easy mechanisms, because there's a lot of things changing, which we'll get into further. So without making this video 25 hours long, as you could gather, we have a lot to talk about. Go below and you'll see there's 3 buttons. There's 3 sections. And under these sections are 3 buttons. So there's a section for startups. So if you're only starting out on your business journey, go there and you'll go to a page that is actually set up to talk to you. It's the same for if you're an owner manager, 1 to 10 employees, yourself and maybe 6 or 5 or 7 or 9 or 10 people. Then I know what that's like. You go from being the business owner one day to the chief bottle washer the next, right? And then you've got for the larger organizations where you are trying to communicate your message, trying to communicate your brand, trying to get your brand out there, get people to understand who you are, what you stand for, so that they do more business with you. Maybe you're a franchise, maybe you've got, you're supplying customers that are supplying the end user, and there's another level in your funnel that you've got to address and look at. And we look at social media, video, websites, all of these tools, and they're just tools, okay? They're just tools. And like any good toolkit, you would have a certain set of tools for one type of car and another set of tools for another type of car, right? And that's what you're doing. You have a lot of the base core tools, but you have some specialist tools for this and some specialist tools for that. And that's what we do, and that's what we'll be talking about. So select which type of business suits you that you're in, go to there, and I'll talk to you on that page. And again, thank you very much for visiting. Go below now, click on the section that suits your business, and that way you and I will be able to have a proper conversation about where you are and the steps that you can take to move forward, grow your business, and do the most important thing: get the cash register singing. If the cash register is not singing, if you're not bringing in money, if what you have online isn't bringing you in money, then it is a cost, not an asset. And it should be an asset. It should be a 24-hour a day, 7-day a week, 52 weeks of the year salesman that is selling for you constantly. Just think about that. You will wake up in the morning, there should be orders there or appointments, whichever section you're doing. And it doesn't matter whether you're selling a product, whether you're selling a service, whether you have to meet people, whether you have to quote. We have gone through over the last decade, and in my own over 3 decades of experience of the different industries that I've been in, from retail. I was in the ceramic tile business, I was in the kitchen cabinet business and the furniture business as part of all of those. So we had direct sales out the door, we had quotation sales, we had subcontractors, we had subcontracting, we had staff, payroll, all the rest of it. So there is not normally a mix of business that we haven't seen before, and not only me, but the team that I have surrounded myself with, and that will all be there to help you through the different programs that we can talk about. So go below, pick the section, startup, owner manager, or large corporation. Pick the section that suits you, click on the button, and I'll see you on that page. Thank you very much.